I already pre-opened this beer. You'll have to excuse me for that, but I'm trying not to curse within the first 30 seconds of these videos, but sometimes it gets a little too difficult, if you will. Now, everything is fine, right? Right? Bottoms up, yo. Everything's fine, right? Nothing going on in the world. No submarines crashing in the ocean, imploding. No false flag psyop, Russian coups happening. No, that's not happening. No. The President Potato didn't say he sold state secrets. At some point, they're going to say he's got dementia. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I guarantee it. Because they accuse Trump of doing of things that they're actually doing, in the process of doing, or have done. It's what a time to be alive. What? Continuing on here, I was going to talk about real quick the whole Russian psyop, which is kind of funny if you think about it. All the left-wing ding-dongs out there who were anti-Wagner group were all of a sudden pro-Wagner group for about 20 hours until they weren't anymore. They went back to calling them a violent, vicious mercenary group. And Putler, the walls are closing in, until they weren't closing in. So all those people out there that were hungering for more death and destruction in a sovereign nation. Again, not a fan of Putin, not a fan of Zelensky, definitely not a fan of my government. So I'm at an impasse. I have flag to, put into the ground. Really, not really. I don't trust my government. I don't trust Putin. I don't trust Zelensky. I don't trust the UN. I don't trust anyone. The only people I do trust is family members. Even that's somewhat limited. I mean, meaning that you can trust people, but at some point, you get let down in certain instances, and maybe it's not really any fault of them. Maybe it's a fault of yourself, but it is what it is. But moving right along. That whole thing with the coup and Russia and Prigozhin and all this other stuff, Lukashenko cracking some deal, then all of a sudden Putin backs off on the deal, and the Wagner group is getting disbanded and molded into the Russian military. That doesn't really mean a whole hell of a lot, but whatever. I mean, every day you wake up, there's a new psyop, or they're just repackaging a new psyop, or repackaging an old psyop into a new psyop with other psyops attached to it. I don't know. I'm kind of, my head's swirling. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? I don't know. Then who can you trust? Can you trust our government? No. Can you trust the media? No. Can you trust the left? No. Can you trust the right? No. Can you trust the center? No. Can you trust your lying eyes? Well, yeah, you can. Unless you see it specifically in front of you, you can trust it. For instance, you trust your car's there out in the parking lot. You go out to look at it, you feel it, you touch it, you open it, turn it on. Okay, yeah, this is real, this exists, and that is what it is. Did a submarine implode in the water? I assume, not for sure, but there's 5 people missing right now, so deductive reasoning, that none of their families are saying, oh, he's right here, and there's not a picture of the guy, going, hey, I didn't go in that sub, I don't know who that guy is. No, you just assume that, with the preponderance of the evidence, that there's, 5 people less on Earth in that instance. You just don't know who to trust anymore. You can't trust government, you can't trust big business, you just can't. So you just try to create a situation where you trust your family, or you try to, at least anyways. Hopefully your family members aren't a bunch of psychopaths who you can trust, and usually that's the case. Sometimes you're unfortunate. You've got a family that you can't trust, or you don't have, or you don't really know, and you got to resort to friends. Hopefully, you got a bunch of friends that are, they build you up. You crack jokes with each other. You kind of like, needle each other and talk crap amongst each other, and that's all good, and that's good for your psyche, for your attitude going forward, But if you got a bunch of friends and they're constantly putting you down, telling you you're a piece of crap, then why do you have friends like that? It's stupid. That is really stupid. You should get rid of them. Not get rid of them. I'm saying let them go. Find some other new friends, or find another hobby, or go take a walk, touch grass. I don't know. Do something. I guess we're at that point where you can't even trust your own countrymen, country people, country persons. In this country especially, and that's why I am for a national divorce. However that entails, I don't want a violent national divorce. There has to be a process to where we split from one another. I don't want to be anywhere near or anywhere close to spitting distance of the left. I hate them. I hate them. I want nothing to do with them. They're evil, vile, vicious scumbums. I want nothing to do with them. Every one of them. If you vote left, I want nothing to do with you. I don't want to break bread with you. I don't want to help you. I don't want to support you. I want nothing to do with you. But right now, through tax dollars and being taxed, I have to, unfortunately. It's by force, honestly, by the threat with the barrel of a gun. Let's be honest. The minute you don't start paying taxes, feds start showing up to your house, arresting you, taking you to court. You don't pay, you go to jail. That's just the way it is. Try not to pay your property taxes on your home. See what happens. I'll tell you what happens. You lose your home. You're out on the street. That's just the weird thing. Yeah, you may own your home on paper, but not really. Just don't pay taxes 1 year on your property. See what happens, and that's exactly what happens. You end up getting disappeared for a while, and you come out, and you still have to pay taxes on anything you buy, unless you're going to like a complete barter system, I guess. But I don't know how many places are that like that exist. Not many. If you don't have anything and the government taking all your stuff and sold it, what do you really have? You don't really have anything. So again, you're at the impasse of being at the mercy of government. Government is run by people, and most of those people hate you. Most of those people in our government are leftist scumbags, and they want you in a ditch. Let's be honest. So, you may feel alone. You're not really alone. There's people out there that have our, views, and get with them, I guess. I mean, the worst thing you could do is, and again, this is for the feds out there that, constantly scrub the internet looking for people. Oh, he must be right wing. He looks like he's an anarchist. We must surveil him and, talk to him and make sure, he's not trying to do anything. No, I'm not trying to do anything. I don't want to do anything. That's the whole point of being very, very to the right. You don't want to force your views on people. You don't want to tell people they have to do certain things so they'll be accepted into society. You don't. But there's a point and there's a limit to where you get these green-haired idiots out there that tell you that I'm supposed to accept, 75 freaking genders and 85 different hair colors, and I have to parse through that data and hopefully I don't misgender someone or someone's going to attack me. That's ridiculous. The whole part about being, libertarian or libertarian adjacent is that you just accept people for who they are. But once they try to force you to be, to accept them, that's where I draw the line. You shouldn't force anyone to accept your stupid bullshit political ideology or your stupid gender affirming care. I don't want to accept it, and I shouldn't have to. Neither should you. And if you don't like it, attacking me physically or, verbally isn't the way to go. You're not going to force me to accept your stupid green hair as they, them pronouns. I'm just not going to do it. Because you're trying to make me do something I don't want to do. But there again, it almost seems like you want to force me to affirm you. I'm not going to affirm you. That's where your friends come in. Let your friends affirm you if they want to. Don't force me. I don't want to, then I want nothing to do with you. Literally want nothing to do with you. I don't want to be within the same continent as you, but apparently I have to, and I have to sort of accept that. But the minute you force me to accept your stupid worldview or your reality, I mean, shit, what am I supposed to do? It's just one of those things where these dipshits on the left need to understand that you're not going to force everyone to abide by your stupid reality. You're just not. If I don't want to accept it, learn to live with it. If you can't learn to live with it, and that's just weird to me, is that you're worried about someone that you've never met, me, that I don't accept your worldview and reality, so that upsets you in some way. How? I don't know you. You don't know me. Why do you give a shit? I know what you're going to say. Then why do you give a shit? Because the reverse. Because some person I don't know is trying to force me to bend to their will and accept their worldview and reality. I don't want to do it. So what are you going to do? Attack me physically and verbally? Well, that's stupid because I'm going to defend myself. I'm not going to go out there and attack somebody willy-nilly just because I don't accept their worldview. No. It's called respect. And that's what the problem here is, that there's literally and practically no respect for anyone. And I get it. I just said that I hate anyone on the left. I don't respect them. And I get it. There's a weird dichotomy, I guess. There's a weird, I guess you could call it a double standard. Maybe it is. And I wouldn't necessarily argue with that. But again, these same idiots out there that are telling me that I have to accept them are telling me I'm a vicious, vile, evil person because I don't accept their worldview or their reality. Learn to live with it. Or don't. I don't know. That's not my problem. But it becomes my problem when you force your bullshit on me. I'm not telling you can't live the way you live. But the minute you start messing with children, that's the other thing. It's weird. Everything about this whole society right now, this whole world is weird compared to what I growing up 40 years ago in the 80s. This didn't go on. This wasn't around. This just wasn't. You grew up and you went to high school, and then some guy may have been, or some woman may have been gay or lesbian or gay or bisexual, whatever. That just wasn't a big deal. Contrary to, movies of the week or whatever, saying that, some jock is beating up some gay kid because he's in fact gay himself. No, that never happened. Not especially growing up where I lived. That never happened. Could it have happened? Sure. But I don't have that experience. It's weird. Rambling here, but it's just a weird view that you got people out there that don't know you, that are upset that you refuse to accept their pronouns and their reality. And so they get upset and they stomp their feet. And you got a stupid potato government that, affirms them. And so they think it gives them carte blanche to attack you physically and verbally because, well, the government says it's okay, then you should accept it. It's like, no, I didn't sign any document saying that I have to accept, whatever the government says. I don't. Neither did you. Or neither did I. I never accepted it. So don't tell me I have to accept your contract, which I've never signed, never seen, and don't want to. You can't force me to do it. But then again, therein lies the rub. The left wants to force their bullshit onto you. And if you don't accept it, well, guess what? Unfortunately, they're going to verbally assault and physically assault you. And at that point, national divorce needs to come into the conversation more widely and profoundly.